Okay, our lesson for today is tessellations, and you will like doing these when we create these in class. Okay, so make sure you take good notes. It's not much, maybe a page that we'll check in class tomorrow. So first of all, tessellation. Okay, it's just a repeating pattern that completely covers a plane with no gaps or overlaps. The measures of the angle that meet each vertex must add up to 360. So these two in particular, these two examples are good examples of tessellations, and what I want you to notice is that there's no gaps, that they completely cover your paper, so to speak. All right, so these different colors around each corner, around here and around here, those two are completely enclosed. There's no space between each quadrilateral. There's no space on the second image between each triangle. That each angle is completely filled. And so that's what a tessellation is. And so we're going to make tessellations in class. And so here's how we make tessellations. Okay, so the first thing we want to do to create tessellations is we're going to use this triangle to start, this triangle. And the very first thing we're going to do is rotate triangle 180 about the midpoint to the other side. So once you do this, it becomes the blue one, 180 degrees, and that's the first step. The second step is to translate that image. So what we're going to do is basically take this image, that image right there, and translate it to the left. And they do it in this image twice. So you get basically these three blocks, so to speak, and then we translate that whole image down to get this. So this would be a final tessellation. You're basically repeating the pattern again for all three of these, okay? All three of these images, okay, so to speak. So that's the idea. That is the idea behind a tessellation. So that's a good example of starting from one shape in the beginning and going to a big tessellation in the end. So that's using triangles, and it's the same steps each time. Okay, rotate 180, translate it, and then translate it again. Okay, so here is the next shape we're going to use, a quadrilateral four-sided figure. Okay, make sure that you write down the steps for how to make a tessellation on your own. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. First, we're going to rotate 180 about the midpoint of one of the sides. Okay, so when you do that, you can see what it makes, the blue and red shape. And then next, we're going to translate. Okay, translate the same object just again to the other side right here. Okay, so that's what it makes, that row. And then last thing is you're going to match up those rows. You're going to translate them, the entire row, and it will fit into the appropriate space on the new object. So you can see right there that you kind of have to shift the rows over. It's not a perfect line, but if we were to keep going, that this piece over here, this end would fit like a puzzle piece into this end over here if we were to translate it again. Okay, so that's the idea behind tessellations, is that you're going to cover up an entire area, like wrapping paper, so to speak, of a plane of a figure. So that's all we're doing tomorrow. Make sure you write down the 3 steps, step 1, 2, and 3, for how to make a tessellation, so that you can do it when you come to class.